Hello all, very good morning. So we were discussing regarding the infectious diseases of heart. So in previous class I have said you regarding the endocarditis, and in today's class I would like to say you what is this myocarditis. So as we have seen the yesterday's class, so what is this myocarditis? It is the middle layer of the heart, the myocardium, which is situated between the pericardium and endocardium. So here inflammation to the middle layer of the heart is called as myocarditis. So it is what it is involving. It is mainly involving the muscle cells and electrical system. So this myocarditis, it is of two types. It may be chronic or it may be acute, and you can also see the onset of this disease, it will be sudden onset. If you see the studies, the deaths that are occurring in the age group of, means the persons who are less than 40 years of age, the sudden unexpected death which is occurring, it is mainly due to this myocarditis. It is occupying about 20% of the unexpected deaths in the adults. So if you see the comparison, so if you see what is the normal heart and what is the myocarditis, in the picture itself you can clearly see. So here the normal heart, how it can be seen, and the inflamed heart. So here whenever the heart muscle is becoming thick and it is becoming swollen, it is very severe, and the pumping action which is there in the heart, it will be weakened because of the infection or inflammation that is present, and it cannot supply. Whenever the pumping has been disturbed, the heart, it cannot supply the blood to the whole body. So what will happen? It will result in the clot formation, and it will also lead to the stroke, and also it might sometimes lead to the heart attack, and the person may result in the death. So you can observe how the heart looks like when it is inflamed and how the heart look like when it is having infection. So this is myocarditis. Here what is happening? The heart muscle layer which is there, so it is becoming thick. It is becoming thick and it is becoming swollen. So whenever it is becoming thick and swollen, the capacity of the heart is decreasing. The pressure in the heart is decreasing, which is resulting in the inadequate supply to the inadequate supply of blood to the other body parts. If you see the acute myocarditis, this is mainly because of viral infection. When the person is entering into the chronic myocarditis, you can observe the absence of virus, because the virus, what it will do, it will create damage, it will create the fibrosis, and it will create the cardiac defiltration, and it will result in what? Heart failure. So coming to the acute myocarditis, because of the viral infection, so there will be myocyte necrosis, and it will also result in the macrophage activation. So whenever the macrophages are activating, the cytokinase expression can be seen. So what are these cytokines? Interleukin 1, interleukin 2, and tumor necrosis factor and interferon. So all these things will come into action, and it will, after 0 to 4 days, it will be like in the viremia stage. After the viremia stage, it has been completed, the progress will go to the subacute myocarditis, means you can find infiltrating non-nuclear cells. So here the natural killer cells and the nitrous oxide will come into play. So the natural killer cells, they will enter into the peripheron stage, and nextly the cytotoxics can be seen, nothing but the T lymphocytes and B lymphocytes, they will form the neutralizing antibodies. So here mainly you can observe the viral cleaning. So once the viral cleaning is completed, means from day 4 to 14 days, you can observe the subacute myocarditis, and after that the person will enter into the chronic myocarditis, where you can observe fibrosis, cardiac dilatation, and heart failure. So after 90 days, you can observe complete absence of virus, but the disease will be present in the person. So this is myocarditis: acute myocarditis, subacute myocarditis, and chronic myocarditis. So what are involving in the viral infection? Macrophage activation will be there, and myocytic necrosis will be there. After that, infiltrating mononuclear cells will come. So here natural killer cells are there, and nitric oxides are there, and cytotoxics such as T lymphocytes and B lymphocytes are there. They are forming the neutralizing antibodies, and lastly it will result in the fibrosis, cardiac dilatation, and heart failure. Coming to the pathophysiology of this myocarditis, so whenever an infection is directly entering into the body, so here it will directly invade into the myocardium. So what it will do, it will trigger the autoimmune cellular or humoral reaction. So whenever the autoimmune cellular or humoral reaction has been started, local and systemic inflammation will occur. So this inflammation, what it will do, it will lead to the hypertrophy, and also it will lead to the fibrosis, and inflammatory changes can be seen in the myocardium. And due to this inflammatory changes that are occurring in the myocardium, the conducting system, whatever the conducting system are there in the myocardium, it will be damaged. So here what is happening, it is resulting in the heart muscle weakening, and the contractility also is being reduced here. And what it will do, it will be resulting in the heart muscles dilatation, and here pinpoint hemorrhage may be developed. So it is very simple. The pathophysiology of myocardium, the infectious organism is invading into the myocardium. Once the infection is invaded, so what it is doing, it is triggering a autoimmune or cellular or humoral reaction. So whenever the immune reaction has been triggered, you can observe the immunological inflammation. So local and systemic immunological inflammation can be seen, and this inflammation, it will lead to what? Hypertrophy, fibrosis, and also you can observe inflammatory changes in the myocardium and conducting system. Heart muscle will definitely weaken because of the inflammatory, because of the hypertrophy. Heart muscle will get dilated, and we can observe pinpoint hemorrhage. So this is the pathophysiology of myocarditis. Coming to the etiology part, so here it is mainly caused due to the bacteria, virus, spirochetes, fungi, parasites, and drug toxins and autoimmune diseases. So we'll see what are the viruses. So viruses such as Coxsackie and Echovirus, HIV virus, adenovirus, cytomegalovirus, Epstein-Barr virus, varicella zoster virus, and other types of viruses. These are some of the viruses that are responsible for the myocarditis. And bacteria such as diphtheria. So here most of the cases, 1/4 of diphtheria cases, they are resulting in the endocarditis. And spirochetes, mainly Lyme, and fungi such as Candida and Aspergillus or Histo or Cocci or Crypto, and parasites such as Chagas, Toxocara, and Trichonosis. Coming to the drug toxins, the persons who are having hypersensitivity reactions, so hypersensitivity to sulfonides, penicillin, and NSAIDs, so it will result in the carditis. And chemo means doxorubicin, it is also resulting in the myocarditis, and others such as cocaine, lithium, and cyclophosphamide. So all these are some of the drugs or toxins that are causing myocarditis. And coming to the autoimmune diseases, whenever the person is having systematic lupus erythematosus or sarcoidosis or rheumatic arthritis or dermatomyositis, so these are some of the autoimmune diseases. And the persons who are having radiation or giant cell myocarditis, these persons are also having this myocarditis disease. So these are some of the etiological factors. Coming to the clinical manifestation, so patient, he will stay asymptomatic, and the infection, it will resolve on its own. But whenever the patient is having some serious or moderate infection, the symptoms such as flu-like symptoms will be formed, tachycardia will come, dyspnea, palpitation, discomfort in the chest and upper abdomen. You can also see the pericardial friction rub, cardiomegaly can be seen, arrhythmia or edema can be seen, pulses will alter, and also murmurs of the mitral or tricuspid regurgitation can be seen, and chronic heart failure symptoms may develop in the persons who are having this myocarditis. Coming to the medical management, mainly if it is hemolytic streptococci, we are going for penicillin, and we are giving ACE inhibitors mainly to relax the blood vessels in the heart and to help the blood to flow more easy. Actually, the beta blockers, we are not giving this beta blocker, because what they will do, they will decrease the strength of the ventricular contraction. Here already the heart has been weakened, so we won't give this beta blockers. And nextly, anti-congestive measures will be taken. So what are these anti-congestive measures means? So here we are giving them the inotropes, oxygen, and digoxin. So whenever you are using, you should use them cautiously, and we are giving them IV or IG. Into the nursing management, so here we need to maintain, we need to monitor for the digitalis toxicity, means whether the person is having any kind of dysarthmia or anorexia or bradycardia, headache, malaise, you have to observe for these types of symptoms, and you should apply and instruct the family as well as the patient for the elastic stockings, mainly to maintain the active and passive exercises, and also instruct the patient to increase physical activity slowly. So here, whenever the patient is beginning some kind of activity, if the heart rate is improving or if it is increasing due to the activity, then the patient has to say to us, so that we can manage him, we can treat him according to the situation, and you should instruct the patient mainly to avoid competitive sports as well as alcohol, and you should promote the patient bed rest, and continuous cardiac monitor should be there. Coming to the diagnostic investigation that were performed, ECG is performed. So mainly you can find sinus tachycardia or decreased QRS voltage, or ST or T wave elevations or arrhythmias can be known here. Chest X-ray is taken, 2D echo is taken, and we are going for a laboratory report such as troponin 1 and myocardial enzyme and cytokinins which were elevated, and if it is necessary they will even go for the biopsy also. Coming to the prevention part, so if any person who is having this viral infection such as flu, if you are at risk, for this myocarditis, you should avoid those person. You should maintain good hygiene, you should avoid risky behaviors, minimize your exposure to the ticks, and get your vaccines. So the throat infection such as rubella, influenza, so these are the major causes for the myocarditis, so you need to get the vaccines as early as possible. Coming to the key points in the myocarditis, so the myocarditis, it is mainly caused because of viral, bacterial, spirochetal, fungal and parasitic infections, and drug toxins and autoimmune diseases. And in electrocardiography or ECG, you can observe non-specific ST or T changes, and there will be arterial or ventricular arrhythmias, and also ST elevation will be seen. And troponin 1 will be positive in 1/3 of the cases who are having this myocarditis. And treatment is always supportive, and it is including the exercise avoidance. You should not go for any kind of vigorous activity. So with this we have completed the myocarditis. So thank you so much for watching. If you like the content, please like, share, and if you have any type of queries, please drop them in the comment box. Thank you so much. Thanks for watching.